Did you know that listening to stories is one of the best ways to learn English? When you hear a story, you learn new words in context, improve your pronunciation, and train your brain to think in English. It makes learning fun and natural. Today, we have an incredible story for you, one that will not only teach you English, but also take you on a journey through history. What makes a man go from an unknown soldier to the most powerful ruler in Europe? How did Napoleon Bonaparte rise so fast, only to lose everything? This is the story of a man who changed history. Listen carefully, and by the end of this story, you will not only know Napoleon's life, but also improve your English. Napoleon Bonaparte is one of the most famous leaders in history. He changed France, fought great battles, and left a legacy that still affects the world today. But who was he really? A hero or a tyrant? Let's find out. Early life and military beginnings. Napoleon Bonaparte was born on August 15th, 1769, on the island of Corsica, which had just become part of France. His family was of noble Italian descent, but they were not wealthy. From a young age, Napoleon was ambitious and determined. He spent hours reading about history, especially about great military leaders. He admired Alexander the Great and Julius Caesar, dreaming of following in their footsteps. At the age of 9, Napoleon was sent to a military academy in France. He had difficulty fitting in because he was from Corsica and spoke with a strong accent. Many of his classmates mocked him, but he remained focused. He excelled in mathematics, geography, and military strategy. His ability to think quickly and solve complex problems impressed his teachers. In 1785, at just 16 years old, Napoleon graduated from the academy and joined the French army as an artillery officer. His understanding of warfare and leadership qualities soon set him apart. But his big opportunity came in 1789, when the French Revolution began. The monarchy was overthrown, and France was in chaos. Napoleon saw this as his chance to rise to power. During the Revolution, France was at war with many European countries. Napoleon's skills were quickly recognized. In 1793, he played a key role in recapturing Toulon, a city held by British forces. His brilliant tactics led to victory, and he was promoted to brigadier general at just 24 years old. Rise to power, from general to emperor. Napoleon's true rise began when he was sent to Italy to lead the French army in 1796. He faced larger and better equipped Austrian and Sardinian forces, but he won battle after battle using speed, surprise, and clever tactics. His victories made him famous across France. In 1798, he launched an Egyptian campaign, hoping to weaken British trade routes to India. Although he won battles like the Battle of the Pyramids, his fleet was destroyed by the British Navy under Admiral Horatio Nelson in the Battle of the Nile. Despite this, his reputation remained strong. By 1799, France was struggling with a weak and corrupt government, known as the Directory. Napoleon returned to France and, with the help of allies, staged a coup d'état on November 9th, 1799. He overthrew the government and became first consul, effectively the leader of France. In 1804, he took a bold step. He declared himself Emperor of France. In a grand ceremony, Napoleon placed the crown on his own head, showing that his power came from himself, not from the Pope. This moment marked the beginning of a new era for France. Major battles and strategies. Napoleon's military success was due to his innovative tactics. He moved his troops quickly, used deception, and adapted to changing situations. Some of his most famous battles include the Battle of Austerlitz, 1805. Known as Napoleon's greatest victory, this battle saw him defeat the combined forces of Russia and Austria. He used clever positioning and surprise attacks to crush his enemies. After this battle, he became the most powerful ruler in Europe. The Battle of Trafalgar, 1805. Napoleon wanted to invade Britain, but his navy was completely destroyed by Admiral Nelson at Trafalgar. This loss meant Napoleon could never conquer Britain, forcing him to seek other strategies. The Continental System, 1806. To weaken Britain, Napoleon tried to block all trade between Britain and Europe. However, this plan backfired as it hurt the economies of many European countries, including France. The invasion of Russia, 1812. Napoleon's biggest mistake was invading Russia with 600,000 soldiers. The Russian army kept retreating, burning their own cities and food supplies. When the French finally reached Moscow, the city was abandoned and set on fire. The brutal Russian winter, starvation, and disease killed most of Napoleon's army. Only about 50,000 soldiers survived the retreat. The fall of Napoleon. After his defeat in Russia, Napoleon's enemies, Britain, Russia, Prussia, and Austria, joined forces against him. In 1814, they invaded France. Napoleon was forced to abdicate, give up power, and was sent into exile on the island of Elba. But Napoleon did not stay defeated for long. In 1815, he escaped from Elba and returned to France. People still loved him, and within days, he rebuilt his army. This period is known as the 100 Days. However, his return was short-lived. On June 18, 1815, at the Battle of Waterloo, Napoleon faced the British and Prussian armies, led by the Duke of Wellington. After a long battle, Napoleon was defeated. This time, he was sent far away to St. Helena, a remote island in the Atlantic Ocean. He spent his final years in exile, writing about his life and reflecting on his mistakes. He died in 1821, at the age of 51. Napoleon's legacy. Even though Napoleon was defeated, his influence on the world was huge. His biggest achievements include the Napoleonic Code, a set of laws that influenced many modern legal systems, educational reforms. He built schools and improved education in France. Nationalism. He inspired national pride across Europe, changing the course of history. Military innovations. His strategies are still studied in military schools today. Some view Napoleon as a brilliant leader who brought progress. Others see him as a power-hungry dictator. What do you think? 7. Conclusion. Napoleon was a man of great ambition. He rose from nothing to become one of the most powerful leaders in history. But in the end, his hunger for power led to his downfall. What lessons can we learn from his story? Let us know in the comments. And remember, keep practicing your English.